Hi guys, so I got a question. Would you ever try and solve a puzzle without looking at the picture on the box? Okay, let's say you would. Would you then start with the most complex areas of the puzzle first? And then would you try and solve the whole puzzle all at once? I hope the answer to all this was no, because it directly relates to the topic I'm going to be discussing today. Today I'm going to be giving you a breakdown of Chapter 21. Chapter 21 is all about informative strategies. And put simply, these are strategies on how to convey your information clearly, accurately, and concisely. I want to show you what the book has taught me about a speaker getting his or her information across effectively. This discussion is going to include some strategies, cues, and organizational methods. Information is key in public speaking. Have you ever heard a speech that had an interesting topic, relevant speaker, and even strong information, but somehow the key points just got lost in translation? Well, guess what? This happens with even the most experienced of speakers when certain guidelines aren't followed to convey information. So first, to talk about this chapter, I'm going to discuss potential overlying strategies, including organizational framework, moving from simple to complex topics, familiar to unfamiliar topics, and avoiding informational overload. And second, and lastly, I'm going to discuss strategies that can be used within the speech, such as organizers, emphasis cues, examples, analogies, multiple channels, and repetition. First up, overlying strategies. First strategy is organizational framework. Here is where a speaker tries to provide the audience of the big picture or the picture on the front of the puzzle box. By stating this information early on, the speaker allows the audience to see how the pieces of the puzzle are going to fit together throughout the course of the speech. Simple to complex. Starting with the easy parts of the puzzle and moving to the more difficult ones later makes things a lot easier for the person trying to solve the puzzle. Same for an audience. Giving the audience easy topics first to lay the roadwork for more complex understanding later in the speech is very effective. Familiar to unfamiliar. If the audience has any background in the speech, the speaker is wise to begin with those aspects of the speech. And as the speech progresses, the speaker should continue to relate unfamiliar topics to familiar examples so the information really hits home. And avoiding informational overload. Don't try to solve the puzzle all at once. Work out the puzzle bit by bit to avoid overload and frustration. The more complex the topic, the more concise the information needs to be. Now, for strategies within the speech. Signposts. Providing the audience a roadmap of where they have been helps reinforce information already covered in the speech. Remember hearing about that puzzle? The puzzle analogy has been a signpost throughout this speech to point to information that we've already covered. Next is enumeration. Chronological information is one of the most straightforward ways to communicate information. By simply saying, I will first discuss overlying strategies, and second, I will discuss in-speech strategies, I'm cueing the audience to my informational organization. Next is acronyms. When applicable, acronyms can provide an easy tool to help the audience remember information. For example, when you're trying to remember north, east, south, and west, never eat soggy waffles. Then slogans and catchphrases. When telling the audience that as a speaker you must avoid informational overload, a simple phrase such as, too much information can make your brain choke is an effective way to help the audience remember this. Emphasis cues. This is important. By simply telling the audience a piece of information is important, you are highlighting a part of your speech. And then examples. Examples are used often and for good reason. Examples always help to relate information to the audience. Think back to that puzzle I keep talking about. Analogies. Analogies are another way to relate information and can be done so through a wide variety of methods. And then multiple channels. This is about adding visuals and other ways that the audience can see your information and help them take it home. And finally, repetition. Did I mention the puzzle? So today I discussed how a speaker can convey information more clearly by utilizing various informative strategies. I hope you found this information useful.